Yes, more play, less work. As Dao will see, studying and forgetting, and or fasting mind. When we think about the Chinese culture, we often thinking about people immediately, especially Europeans, thinking about Confucius, okay, Confucianism. That's blindsided. And Lu Xun is a 19th century, 20th century Chinese intellectual claim Taoism is soul of Chinese thought and culture. So what happened? Why in what Tao being dismissed, Taoism? One of the reasons, look at historically, is Taoism has been misunderstood from Mattel Ricci in 16th century to Maxwell in 20th century. They consider Taoism as superstition, magic, something can be dismissed. So now today I'm back to answer question, what is the status of Taoism work? So we will see the more and more people pay attention both in China and outside of China. So now here in this short minute time, I want to show this statue of Lao Tzu is considered the founders of Taoism. This statue is made during 90s, right now in Henan province. Let's look at the statue itself. First, in this Lao Tzu holding scripture, that is the Tao Te Ching, only 5,000 words. People compare this with Bible in terms of how many translations we see globally. Then we see this person has a hand in the one. This is a oneness. This Joe early talked about. The heaven, the earth, and human being become one, the unity. Then if you see the center, okay, this is, I said, well, okay, you see the center, there's yin yang in the heart. See the transformation. But more important, look at his eye. His eyes is looking down. It's a humility. So then if we look at how do we understand this Tao, that I can refer to text in Tao Te Ching chapter 67, saying there's three things treasured in Taoist teaching. One is compassion. This compassion is not a human to humans, but rather to all things, to the tree, to the mountains, to myriad things. So today we talk about one of the chart in here is life on the land. Right? So this this is climate actions. We can make a connection. Secondly, translate as moderation or simplicity or frugality. Frugality, GM, it's very important too, related to responsible consumptions. So we human beings need to know enough isn't enough. Sharon Small talk about when to stop. That's the wisdom come to know when to stop. And then, of course, humility. So this is the three things we will see the captured Taoist spirit. Secondly, we have to understand two important distinctions in Taoist teaching. One distinction between natural intelligence and artificial stupidity. So in other words, in today's world, we are creating something fake intelligence. We think we are smarter, clever, but then that brings the problem. The problem is lead us away from real, we see, meaning of life, well-being and actually make our life more complicated and suffering, anxiety. Second distinction is our human quest. Human quest, what is general? Is this is very hard to translate in English. Is zhen and perfected, and where is merely desires and satisfaction. Many times, human driven by desires and not trueness. So we can see to understand this, and then how do we really make this distinction? If so, how do we make our life path? So Dao point out, what's our guide? In chapter 3, we should guide by our natural stomach. We have a desire of stomach, not the desire of will and eye. Why so? Because desire of stomach know when to stop. It gives you a break. Even your eye to see all you can eat, you still want to consume it, but your stomach said, stop it. I cannot move on this way. But also we can make a distinction. We could look at the difference. There is something man-made, heavenly made, general, and then also human-made. So we have to thinking about in this contemporary world, the technology enhanced life actually make our life more complicated. Earlier, Professor Zhang talked about technology. I do want to say Taoism make a distinction between tools, which is extended human ability, and technology, tech, where we are being part of, we are participation. Extending our natural ability and our participation, that's very different. So we will need to make clear this kind we understand. So one of the things, especially Sister Ellen talk about the dialogue, give a different way to think about the dialogue. I think it's very important to think about the dialogue. It's we engage, but also what kind of mindset we have. We have a fixed mindset thinking there is a right or wrong. We are right, everybody else is wrong. And or we think about the Taoists, think about our mind should be like a mirror. Think about the mind could be a candle lighting others, but also here mind is like a mirror. What the mirror will do? First of all, mirror is common to reflect the reality without no preconceived notions, concept, and the judgment. It will come all things, allow things appear to as way as it is. But also, we want to think about the mirror is not a story. Mirror, when things gone, let things be. Let things go. Here we will see fasting of mind, more pray come about. Now we also thinking about in here, we need thinking about is nourishing our mind and our spirit, and of course our energy. So this is all things is a comprehensive human existence. Now the one dimension, but as a whole dimension. So how do we doing so? Of course, we think about there is great stories. I want to say is Da Yu managing water, because one of our targets, and also think about the water. So when Da Yu managing water, he is not building high dam in order to stop water to going, but rather follows nature of water to allow to direct the water, not against the water. So that's how he become successful. That's he learned mistakes from his father. So then what he able to do, not just a historical fact we see, but also he provide great action plan or action model. We should follow nature of all things. We should attending to need of all things. Do not use our human invented concept, cleverness to managing, control, and dominate the world. So this is my thank you.